Thousands of you enjoyed the NHL opening week $9 special, so it's only fair that we offer the NBA fans the same deal. Every NBA daily package for the opening week through Monday, October 25th is just $9. That's right, you will not be paying $25 for a package, nor will you be paying $35 for 5% best bets for the opening week of the NBA, as all daily basketball packages are only $9. Make sure to tune in every Monday through Friday for the NBA tip-off show on WagerTalk TV, and then save and start the NBA season with a slam dunk deal.
Welcome into First Pitch, WagerTalk's premier MLB betting show for Wednesday, October 20th. We got two games, American League and National League Championship Series. We'll start it off with Houston and Boston, as we got Tony Finn and Mid-Major Matt alongside to break down these two games for you. Huge shout out to the chat box, everybody joining us live. And if you're watching on replay, feel free to leave any comments below on the YouTube channel. We got Houston and Boston up first, guys. Happy hour special here, 5 p.m. Eastern. First pitch. We'll go around the horn, breaking it down. Opening thoughts, and we'll get best bets on both games at the end. Final thoughts for the show as well, guys. Houston going with Valdez on the hill. I think we got the graphics. And Chris Sale going for the Red Sox. Two lefties going at it here, guys, as we got Red Sox minus 125 at most shops right now, seeing minus 122 at others. So Chris Sale versus Valdez here. Matt, I know you're a big strikeout props guy, but we're seeing the money line minus 180 or minus 150 as well. So I know the strikeout prop market is taking a lot of big swings here. So interested in your thoughts on that, and you're interested in your thoughts on the Astros and Red Sox, Matt.
So, it's weird for this game because the starting pitchers, it feels like they're like a mirage. I mean, for a guy like me who likes to handicap the starting pitchers, at least during the regular season, it becomes a whole lot harder when these guys are only lasting 3 or 4 innings. Both of these managers have shown that they're going to yank these guys pretty quickly. And yet you see the name Chris Sale and you're like, oh, great, this is Chris Sale. And you think about all the stuff he's done. But he's just not the Chris Sale that he's been in the past. And so you kind of have to throw that out. He didn't last very long the last time he faced the Astros. And this is an Astros team that doesn't strike out a lot. Hint, hint, that's what my best bet is for today. And then you look on the other side, and Framber Valdez is another guy who also didn't last very long. And so you look at these lineups, and I found it interesting that already when I woke up this morning, it was 5.5 the total for the first 5 innings, and it's down to 5. And I think that's kind of interesting because that gives you at least the push potential if you want to take the over here. The one worry I have about the over for the first 5 is that if Chris Sale pitches like he's supposed to, and if Framber Valdez pitches like he's supposed to, you're going to get an easy under there. So to me, it's really hard to kind of figure out. To me, this feels like a really good live situation, especially once you start getting into the bullpens and you start figuring out like who's available and who's going to come in. At first glance, I would lean to the home team here. We know how good of an atmosphere is, but momentum from last night is clearly on the road team side. So this is a really hard game to kind of figure out, Drew, with regards to the spread and the total. As I said, my best bet's involved with the actual K-props here. Valdez's K-prop is 3.5 with the juice on the over. I wouldn't take an over for any of these guys, it feels like. It's just taking overs is just asking for these pitchers to go longer than they usually do. So I wouldn't take the under necessarily for Valdez, but the over, I don't understand why all the money is on his over.
Yeah, I'm with you, Matt. We've seen, pitchers be pulled so quickly here this playoffs. My first look is always towards strikeout props and the under. I like what you had to say there. Tony, coming to you, conclusion for this game, Fenway Park, Houston Astros, Boston Red Sox, total at 9.5. Boston looks to be about a minus 120, minus 125 favorite. What are you liking in Fenway tonight, Tony?
Well, I agree. Matt spoke to it pretty well. This is going to be a game where I think both teams are going to be, we're in the playoffs. I don't want to use the phrase, it's going to be a playoff atmosphere, but it's an important game for both. I mean, Houston would love to go home with a win and have to win only 1 or 2, and Boston would certainly like to close this out, go back to Houston, ahead 3-2, only have to win one of those 2 games. Both pitchers, Sale, Matt was right. I think Sale went 3 innings or something like that the last time these two went, very, very right in that area. And same with Valdez. He didn't pitch very well. He had some bad ball luck, et cetera, et cetera. He actually has really good numbers against Boston in his career, albeit it's not a great big sample size. Sale's sample size against Houston, and this is back. A lot of these bats were back when Sale was, as Matt said, much more efficient and effective than he is now, coming off a year off of with TJS, I believe. So that said, I still agree with him. I like the under here. The weather, the conditions, the ball didn't carry very well yesterday. In fact, anybody who had the under in that game last night in Boston, I have to give my condolences go to you. That's a bad beat when you get 7 runs in the top of the ninth. So I'm with Matt on this. I don't have any props in this game, and I would, if I was in this game, I would be leaning to the under.
And we saw that huge shout out to the graphics team back there, Robert, Will, Joe, putting it up of the Astros starters, over an 18 ERA through 4 ALCS games. That's a heck of a stat here, guys. And somehow they've got the series tied up here. So I guess that's a shout out to their bats and what they've been able to do. The number 1 hitting lineup against lefties and righties, talking about the Astros. So a good one in Fenway, guys, tonight. We'll revisit this in Best Bets, but next game up, the nightcap, back-to-back games here, 5 p.m. Eastern and then 8 p.m. Eastern. We get the Atlanta Braves and the LA Dodgers. Tony, coming to you first. We're seeing Urias slated for the Dodgers, the lefty commanding a huge price tag here, minus 220. They're down 2-1. They're at home, talking about down 2-1 in the series, being at home, going up against the Braves. Seeing a to be determined here for the Braves. Not sure if you've got something for their starter. Either way, you got to think it's a lot of bullpen here for the Braves. Kind of best hand available going to be pitching. But what are you thinking tonight in Dodger Stadium, Tony?
Well, and quick, I'll say this: if for those who watched the game last night, I don't know how much you took from what happened in that game, but it was about ready to be. Had Atlanta done some things differently, I think. Up 3 runs in a situation where I know first base wasn't open, but runners on first and second, and they're facing a situation where, listen, they pitched pretty well. Atlanta did everything. They pitched really well, above their pay grade. Their bullpens pitched better than I thought they would. They've limited their bullpen down to much less than what the Dodgers have done. But in a nutshell, my point is that things could be much, much different. Yeah, last night, if they would have approached the bottom of the 8th with 2 on and facing the only guy really coming up that could hit for power, and then they give him just a eye-level fastball, and what happens? We're tied at 5-5, and lights are out. And I don't know that Atlanta recovers from that, to be honest with you. I know that the Dodgers have used, I think, 11 different pitchers over the last 3 games, which is a 4-day period. Go back to Thursday night when Scherzer closed to get the save against the Giants. But this is a game where now, as fortuitous as the Dodgers have been, I think that this is eerily similar to last year when Houston was up 3, or when Atlanta was up 3-1, and the Dodgers, they go in, they score 11. I think one of the games they scored 11 in the first inning. It's. I believe the Dodgers are the play from here forward. And last night in the 7th inning, I thought Davey Roberts is in so much trouble. 9 or 10 consecutive division titles, and 1 World Series title that should have come with an asterisk, right, guys? Came in 2020, shortened season, COVID season. It's a reminiscent of what Bobby Cox did in Atlanta all those years too. I like the Dodgers tonight. Don't like playing the run line on home teams. I would reduce risk though and be willing to lay -1, and it'll bring you down to about $1.50 as the Dodgers are the favorites. And I will take yours as poorly as he pitched in it too in the last game where he came in the middle of, I think, the 5th or 6th inning. A lot of this is gut, but I think the Dodgers will take over, score some runs against an Atlanta team that, to be honest with you guys, is a little offensively challenged, especially with Solar on the COVID list. So give me the Dodgers.
Looking towards the Dodgers. Matt, coming to you next. I kind of have that same feel Tony does. I feel like, the Braves kind of had it in their grasp there, about to go up 3-0. They had, a chance to get there and just let the Dodgers come back into it. So I think it's tough to bet the Braves here, although, heck, they've proved me wrong many times. They've proved a lot of sports bettors wrong this postseason, so always tough to count them out. But it'll be interesting to see if they can bounce back as big plus price dogs. If you're able to cash this one, that'd be a nice price tag here on the Braves if they do win. Matt, what are your overall thoughts, Dodgers and Braves?
So depending upon who they announce, I think I like the Braves plus a half in the first 5. If they announce Yanoa, who I would guess is where they would go, Yanoa and Smiley are the two who have not seen any action yet. And I'm guessing there's a chance that you may see one of them, if not both of them, maybe piggyback each other here. Now, that hasn't been announced yet. And look, I don't want to see some sort of random Braves reliever starting this game. I want to see one of those two guys do it. If a random Braves reliever starting, scratch that. I do not want anything to do with the Braves. But if I see a Yanoa starting, I could see the Dodgers starting a little bit slow. We know Yanoa has got some good stuff, and granted he hasn't pitched a lot lately, but I feel like he's got good enough stuff to keep them in it. And look, Urias is a good pitcher, and he's a guy but the problem is he had that one inning against the Braves. They hit him up a little bit. He hasn't thrown more than 75 pitches since the beginning of the month. And so once again, now look, Dave Roberts has basically said, look, he has not used Graterol. He has not used Trinan lately, and he's purposely kept those guys available because he wants to have them ready for like when they have a lead. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like we'll get maybe 5 innings from Urias, and then you'll see one of those guys, and then you'll probably see the other guy, and maybe tonight is a situation where you might see Kenley Jansen go an inning plus, maybe, 2 innings tonight. So I think the Dodgers have their pitching perfectly lined up, which is why I don't want to get involved with the Braves the whole game. I'm going to take a shot that they're going to have a little bit of fire and a little bit of embarrassment after last night. And depending upon who the starter is, I might look to the Braves plus a half in the first 5 innings. The other thing real quick to talk about the K-prop market, last night, Charlie Morton finished with 5 strikeouts. Depending upon the book that you used, you could have gotten under 5.5 and over 4.5. And the important thing for this is that when we've talked about it, and everybody, like, this is the main thing that I feel like the WagerTalk channel talks about, is having a bunch of options. And there is no bigger reason why than the K-prop market. I'll tell you this morning, when I woke up, Chris Sale and Framber Valdez were both 3.5 at reasonable juice on both directions. It was like minus 118. This is on FanDuel. And then like an hour later, boom, they flipped it to 4.5. They took the plus 175, minus 200. So like, you're not going to take it. So, and then there's DraftKings that has completely different. I got Urias under 5.5 strikeouts. It's gone now. It's 4.5. And people are like, well, wait, would you take under 4.5? I probably wouldn't. And last night's Morton thing told me the reason why, because it's so important. Every strikeout counts. And then BetMGM has 3.5 or has 4.5, but the juice is different. So I don't know. We've all told you guys who watch this, make sure to have a bunch of options and make sure to jump in quick because these lines are moving. And this is a market that I think is starting to develop a whole lot more. So if you see something you like, jump right in and take it because you don't know. It may not last more than an hour or so.
Well said, Matt. A lot of volatility there in the strikeout prop market. And guys, hopefully we get you on some of the right sides of these moves tonight in the 2 games. We got best bets coming up. Final thoughts for the show. Make sure to check out Tony at WagerTalk.com. We got Matt, SportsMemo.com. I'm at WagerTalk as well. So a lot of good stuff available at the website. But I guess kicking it off here for best bets, guys. I'm going on the Houston Astros, plus 115. Looks to be the high watermark right now on the Astros, number 1 hitting lineup against lefties and righties, by the way, going up against Chris Sale, who this postseason has not been good at all. He let up, 5 runs in 1 inning to the Tampa Bay Rays in his start. He also, against this Houston Astros team, if you just do Blimp's view, only 1 earned run. The problem is he only went 2.2 innings against the Astros lineup and gave up 5 hits, 6 line drives. He also walked 1. I think this Astros lineup gets after him. I like the Houston Astros plus 115 with that little bit of better bullpen, a little edge there in the later innings. So I'll go Stros to take the lead in the series, plus 115 underdog price tag. Tony Finn, check him out. Paco Healy in the chat box saying Tijuana, Tony. They're waiting for their best bet here, Tony. Where you heading?
I'll make this really simple. I like, as I just explained to you, I really have this a history. Will either prove me right or wrong, but if you're going to go on historical trends, what happened last night to Atlanta is not good. It's just not good. They didn't handle the situation. It's almost like they left everything in the players or the pitchers and the catchers' hands there in that situation. It shouldn't have been. I like under. Now, it's a little bit of juicy, but I like the team total. I like the Braves under 3.5 tonight in a game that has a total of 8. The Dodgers are under 4.5, so they've obviously got the Braves at 3.5. But I like the under 3.5, and I like the umpire that's back behind the plate. While I like the umpire even better in Boston, I assume that in Hoyt in L.A. is more of a neutral guy. But in these kind of big games like this, he starts kind of morphing into making his view of this game a big game as well. So big strike zone under 3.5 for Atlanta Braves tonight. Team total at Dodger Stadium.
Towards that under. Okay, yeah, the Dodgers have been good at home, guys. We got Can't Get It Right saying Braves 1-4 in their last 5 playoff road games. We got Paco Healy in the house and Johnny Outlaw I like this as well, but probably going to roll on Astros team total over 4. So Johnny Outlaw looking for the Astros to put up some numbers. Matt, coming to you last here, buddy, for best bets. Not sure if it's a strikeout prop, if it's a side, a total. Where are you heading for best bets tonight?
Well, I'll tell you this. The best bet, if the Braves somehow announced Drew Smyly, the first 5 run line for the Dodgers would be where I go, because Drew Smyly is the only guy I would not want to see for that. But my actual best bet, since we don't know the starting pitcher for the Braves, is I'm taking under 4.5 strikeouts for Chris Sale. Only one starting pitcher has gone over this number versus Houston in the postseason. Houston all season long has been 29th and 30th in K rate, whether it's at home, whether it's on the road, whether it's against lefties, righties, whatever. Look, I'm taking the chance here that once again, Chris Sale doesn't return to form. He's gone over this number a bunch, but if you look, it's like the Baltimores, the Texases, the Tampa Bays, the teams that strike out a ton. Houston just doesn't do that for the most part, and I'm not expecting Sale to last more than 3 or 4 innings in this game, so I'll take my shot. It's only on DraftKings right now, unfortunately. BetMGM and FanDuel have 3.5. I wouldn't take it. Every strikeout matters for this thing, so if you have DraftKings, I would look at Chris Sale under 4.5 strikeouts. That's my prop here for tonight's game.
Man, I love that.
I'm jumping in here, Drew, real quickly.
4.5.
I'm sorry, Drew. I was going to say, I just checked my email because I have a guy who sends me, he has, just a guy I've known for a long time, a beat writer. He sent me an email and he said he's going to verify, or at least he's going to back up what Matt said. And he's telling me he believes that the Braves will go with Noah as a starter. Although it's not listed, it's not official, that's the email. So there you go.
Okay, Noah looks there. Matt, 4.5 for Chris Sale strikeouts.
Yes, only on DraftKings.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I don't have a DraftKings. That's crazy. Look at his strikeouts. 2 in his last postseason. He's only gone 1 inning and 2.5. He's not going to go that deep. That is a great bet, man. I like that one. I'm going to jump on with you. But you don't like it at 3.5?
I don't. I think it's a big difference. Now, look, I think the under 3.5 has a plus price to it, so that at least makes it somewhat intriguing. But to me, every strikeout counts, Drew. So I would stick firm to the 4.5. If you see a 3.5 at a plus price, maybe sprinkle a little bit less, a half a unit, a quarter unit, 3/4 of a unit, whatever it is. But at 4.5 on DraftKings, I really like that one.
All right, good stuff from Mid-Major Matt as well from Tony Finn, Tijuana Tony. Guys, in recap for the best bets, I got Astros plus 115. We get Matt Joseph's Chris Sale under 4.5 strikeouts. What was the price on that, Matt?
I just looked right now. It's unfortunately, I got it minus 120. It's now minus 150. So that's also juice tolerance with how much you want to spend.
Okay, and we got Tony Finn, Braves team total under 3.5 minus
138.
138 from Tony
Tijuana
Finn.
Yeah.
Good stuff, guys. Great show as always. Enjoy the games tonight, guys. We will be back MLB first pitch here tomorrow. Come back and join us for Mid-Major Matt, Tony Finn. I am Drew Martin. Best of luck with your bets. Please smash that like button. We'll talk tomorrow.
Thousands of you enjoyed the NHL opening week $9 special, so it's only fair that we offer the NBA fans the same deal. Every NBA daily package for the opening week through Monday, October 25th is just $9. That's right, you will not be paying $25 for a package, nor will you be paying $35 for 5% best bets for the opening week of the NBA, as all daily basketball packages are only $9. Make sure to tune in every Monday through Friday for the NBA Tip-Off Show on WagerTalk TV, and then save and start the NBA season with a slam dunk deal.